Welcome, friends, to the beginning of our first Halloween journal of 2024. I just had to give you a little spooky intro there. I'm not that good at doing these YouTube videos, but let me adjust my camera there. So, welcome, and today I am so excited because Amy created an awesome Halloween kit. I think she made it especially for me. But anyway, I want to start working with this. This is going to be my design team project, and for Amy at Crafty Cat USA. Her kit is called Haunted. This is one of the haunted house images. So I'm going to be using the Haunted kit, the add-on kit, and the Grungy Fall kit. And so I was trying to think of something to make. Like, I didn't want to just make a journal. I wanted to make something that's going to be kind of interactive. The kit is huge. The add-on kit is huge. And every page is so beautiful and so rich in color. You can see this page here. I love the Count. Love him. This is, I love every page of the kits. This is probably one of my favorites right here. I love it. I would be so scared to go in this house, but I love it. I would go. Look at that. That is just gorgeous. That's just a few of the pages. So if you want to join me on this journey, let's get started. So first thing you're going to need is a couple of legal size manila folders. And I got these at the Dollar Tree. You can use regular as well. You would just have to add on. Like, we're actually going to put two halves together to make it long enough for what we're going to do. But if you only have normal size, you might need 3 of them. Okay, so I'm going to kind of go through this with you. So I'm going to use 2, and this is how they come. You know, one side is bigger than the other. So we're going to take the bigger side here. So we're going to just cut it right down the middle. Cut this part off on 2 of them. Okay. And then, so then we'll have 2 pieces like this. Okay. We will trim a little, but first I want to give you the measurements. So normally this folder, I believe I measured it at, I think I measured it at like 14.5 inches wide. I think that's about what it is, 14.5 to 14.25. So we need two of those. So on a legal size, you'll probably need on a regular size, 8.5 by 11, you'll probably just need 3 pieces, and then we'll cut off some of the excess. Okay, but this is how it's going to work. So we're going to do scoring, and then we're going to cut. It's hard to explain what the base is going to look like yet till I get this cut and show you my idea. This idea came in the middle of the night because I couldn't stop thinking about it and I couldn't fall asleep. So this is what happens. So I have my scoreboard out. We're going to score before we cut. So we did, just cut the envelope in half. The manila folder in half. So on one end, I want you to just, and don't worry, you cut it as even as you can, so it's not that big of a deal right now. So on one end, I want you to score at 1 inch. Okay. Then I want you to move it up, put that score here, like this, so it's not flat. You moved it up out of the way, like this. Okay, and then I want you to score at 6 inches, 6.5. Okay, then we're going to move this the last score, the 6.5 inch score, we're going to butt that up against here. So we can score at another 6. We're going to do this 2 times, but this last piece here, we're going to cut it off. So I'm going to take my scissors. You could use your, your cutting board, your blade, your rotary cutter, or whatever you have. Let me just do this for now, so I don't have to keep switching out equipment under the camera here, okay? So we don't need this piece here. So this is one piece. So we have a 1, butt that up, do it at 6, 6.5, butt that up, do it at 1, and cut that 1 inch off. Let's do that again. Okay, we are going to do this one more time. We're going to score here at 1. Give it a fold. Butt that up to the side here. We're going to score at 6, 6.5. We're going to fold on those fold lines. The last score, the 6.5, we want to butt that up here against there. And then we're going to score at 6, like that. And we're going to cut that off on the score line. It's just something to give you to cut on. So right now, this is going to be the base of the I don't even, yeah, it's a journal, but it's an interactive journal. I don't know what to even call it yet. So, okay, we don't need the scoreboard, but we will need the cutter to trim the tops. So let me just get rid of my scoreboard here. Okay. So now that we've folded this, I can get this in my cutter, and then I'm going to trim the top off. And then we're going to show you how it goes together. So I have my cutter. I'm going to extend it here. Since our, the normal size paper for us is 8.5 by 11, right? So 8.5 high. So I wanted to keep, and we can just fold this now. Just make sure your edges are fine. We can put this in here now. We want it to be, if we can, 9 inches tall. That gives us kind of a 1/2 inch leeway. So I'm going to cut this off like that. So this is 9 inches. So it's going to be 9 inches tall because our papers are 8.5, right? So it gives us some leeway. So we're going to do that on both pieces here that have this extension. And I'm just folding it up so I can get it under here. I'm going to line it up at 9, and then we're just going to trim this off, this piece here, okay? If you want the edge that you cut by hand, we can, if it's not quite even, it isn't quite even, but let me just, I don't know if I could cut, it is pretty good. I don't think I can trim any more off. So that's what we need to do, okay? So now I put my cutter away, and I'm standing doing this because it's easier for me to do this. We have 2 pieces that look the same, right? 2 pieces that look the same, but we're going to flip one. So you see, we have this little extension here that comes on a folder in here. This is what we're going to do. This is going to be our spine. It's going to have a 1 inch spine. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue this on top of this 1-inch piece. So then we'll have this piece, and I'll show you what this is going to do. I did not make this ahead of time, so I'm really hoping this is going to turn out, okay? So I did not pre-make one of these. I think I'm going to use glue stick and then some glue around the edges, okay? So I'm just going to go in there right now with some glue stick the best I could. And then I'm going to go in with glue if it comes out. You know, I'm going to have to use my bigger glue bottle, I think. Let's see, because we could be here all day with this little glue bottle. This is good for small things. Let me see if I can, you know what, I'm sorry I shook the camera. Oh my gosh. Let me just get in here with my fabric tack here and get this glued on better. I'm sorry for the noise. Okay, so let's see here. So I'm just going to go in there with my fabric tack. Also, I guess I could have just used fabric tack too. That's better. All right. So I'm going to put this on and up to the crease because we want it to bend. This is going to be our center of the journal. And it has to be able to bend. That's our main spine of this interactive journal. Okay, so once we have that, this is my idea. It's going to open, oh, let me get my crease here. I didn't crease my 1/2 inch. So if you see on these other pages here, we scored 1/2 inch open, so the 1/2 inches. So I wanted to do that and then close like this. So you see how it's, oh, let's see, can you see? Yeah. So it's going to be like this. We're going to make a closure for here. So then when you open it, it's going to open like this. Well, you'll see what we're going to do here. And then when you open it again, there'll be more happening. And the reason there's the 1/2 inch is because I'm not sure. I'm thinking to do 2 signatures. That's why I left the 1/2 inch on each side. That's where the signatures were going to go in. So not only when you open this, there'll be 2 signatures in here, but then we have the inside covers to do stuff with and the back cover and the back. Okay. And then there'll be signatures in here too. That I'm thinking it's going to look super cool. And then it closes like this, and there'll be like a closure here. I'm going to think of a cool closure, and then it's going to be like this, okay? And then the 1 inch. So, and even if it gets a little chunky, we'll figure that out. But I think with 2 signatures, I think we're going to be okay. So this is the base. Now, I was thinking, you know, I wanted to do something cool on the outside as the base and something basic on the inside because we're going to be adding elements to the inside, but we just need to cover this. So what I did was I went into the Grungy Fall. Now you can use anything. I went into Grungy Fall, picked one of the papers, printed it 3 times, and I'm thinking of covering the base on the inside, and I might have to print one more, or actually we'll cut it. But I was thinking of covering the inside with this beautiful piece here, just to give it a background, okay? Now try to stick with me on this. So what I was thinking is we would cover the whole inside first, and what we would do is not cut it to size, but kind of overlap it like a 1/2 inch all around, like this. And then, you know how you would, we would like trim this and fold this to the front, glue this all down. So everything will be, the edges will be covered. So that's why I'm saying if you didn't cut them real nice, it's not going to show. So I was thinking we would do that, cover the whole inside with pieces of this. And then, like I said, cut it big enough. This is my idea. Cut it big enough that, you know, you'd leave a 1/2 inch. And then we'll trim this and fold this over, glue it, fold it over. So the edges will be completely covered. Okay? Now, for the outside, once that's all done, the inside base is covered. Then we can build on that. So I was trying to think of something cool and creepy or something like, you know, something good for the outside. And I came up with this idea, and I think it's going to be fun, and I think we'll make a topper for this journal, a topper here too. So this was my idea. I took some black cardstock. Now this cardstock is just from, this is Park Lane, so this is from Joann Fabrics, and it's 65 pounds. So it's got some substance, but it really is, you can see it, it's really thin. It's just like paper, okay? I mean, I have thicker cardstock, but what you want to do is get some thinner cardstock, like 65 pound is good. It worked well. I'll show you. If you don't have something like this, but you have like the cheaper, thinner scrapbook paper might work if you have one or some sheets that are cool looking. But this is what I did. I had this, so I tried it and it worked. So this is Park Lane Solid Core 65 pound 12 by 12 sheets. So I took 3 sheets for now. And what I did was I took the sheet and I scrunched it up. And you'll get your workout, so you won't need to exercise the day you start this, because this is an exercise, really it is. And I would open it up, and I've done this to the 3 or 4 sheets I have. You can spread it out and look at it. Now, as you keep doing this, it gets softer, and it's okay if it rips. It gets softer, but gets wrinkly. And I had to do this about, I think, 4 times to the same sheet. Just open it up and redo it. Really good. To get, the more you do that, the more creases and worn it looks. You can see. And then I would spread it out and see how it looked, right? And I like that. And so I did it so far to 3 sheets. My idea is to cover the outside with this. And like I said, we'll piece it on. All you're going to do is glue it on with the glue of your choice. Like I said, this will be the outside. But remember, we will have this on the inside, and this part will be folded over, so the edges will be nice. So what we'll do is we can actually glue this right on top, and the edges are covered already, so we don't have to, in other words, I don't want to have to overlap this to the inside. I don't think it would look right. I'd rather have it nice and clean on the inside, and then the edges are covered, and then we can just start. Either you can use this sheet as a whole, or you can tear it in strips and start gluing strips on. That would be cool. That kind of looks like my, kind of what I did to the journal I showed you, that the Wednesday, the Addams Family journal. I did the embossing on the black, tore it in strips and glued it on. I really liked how that looked, but I was trying to think of something easier and faster, because not all of us have embossing machines. So I thought, oh, this'll work just fine. That'll really look like a cool outside of a journal. So, okay, so that's how I got the look. Now, I don't have any like the thinner scrapbook papers, you know, like not the nice thick kind, but the thin ones that you can get. Those might work too if you have a nice fun Halloween design, but really I wanted black. And you can do brown if you want brown, whatever you want to do, okay? So once you do this, it just breaks the fibers down in this paper and it gets so soft. It's very soft and it'll be easy to work with, okay? So that's what I'm thinking of doing. So we have our base, right? This is going to be the center spine here of the main part. We have 2 signatures going in here. I have a couple ideas of what's going to be in here. And I might even change my mind and do 1 signature here and some other type of interactive something in here instead of 2 signatures. I'm not sure yet. I have to think about it and see what it looks like, but we've got enough room to make some interactive layers or pages. We have a lot of background to add things to. So I'm really excited about this. And then it's going to close and close like that. And then we're going to do a cool opening here. And this is kind of what it's going to look like. Okay, so this measures 9. Oh, and then this was, well, this is 6, half an inch, so 6.5, another 6. That's 12 and a half. 12 and a half on both sides, and then the 1 inch spine. So 12 and a half is 24. 12 and a half and 12 and a half is 25, and this is 20, would be one more, so 26. So this whole thing is 26 by 9, okay? So I hope I gave you, I'll write down the measurements again in the description, but hopefully you got that. If you have any questions or you're a little confused or whatever on what I did, because sometimes I hope I explain it right, let me know and I'll try to help you out and go over that again. So I thought maybe we could start, at least I could show you what I mean about gluing the pages on the inside and putting the cover, you know, putting it to the front. And I'm going to try to make a series of videos that aren't super long, so we can do this in many steps. I have quite a few ideas for different kinds of journals, so Halloween journals. And we have to get started because it's like 150 days away. And I have a lot of Halloween journals and things to make, so I need to get going here. Plus, Tracy Fox's Creep on June starts, so I'll probably be doing some videos with that kid as well. Okay, so let me get, I'm going to get another mat out here just so I get glue on here, in case I get glue on here. So I'm just going to start, and I'm going to probably go this way. I might have to, I'll cut some off, and then we'll use it in strips. So I guess the first thing I'm going to do is kind of do 1 page at a time. So I'm going to start getting some glue on here. So I hope everyone's well. I'm sorry, I just jumped right into my project. I was so excited. I don't know what that little bit of Halloween in the beginning is going to look like. I'm not a filmmaker, so don't beat me up too much on it, right? But I love myself a good haunted house and some scary music. That's how I roll. So oh, I love watching paranormal shows, any kind of movies that have to do with ghosts and hauntings of buildings and houses, and oh gosh, I just live for it. Not that I believe it really too much. I mean, obviously, you know, that's just makes me scared more than anything. And it's the fear of, like, I guess the unknown, I guess is what it is. So, you know, I'm not into the slasher type things. As, you know, I might have been when I was younger, a teenager, but really not. It's more the ghostly, paranormal, unexplained type stuff, okay? All right, let me do this because I can't talk at the same time. All right, quickly, I think I'm going to flip this over so I can see what I'm doing here. I want to leave about 1/2 inch on about just enough so you can fold over comfortably. I'm going to glue this down. I'm going to trim that part off. But let me at least get this on, just so I know I have enough around the edges. And I'll flip this back. And then, now you can take, oh, let's see, where is my little card here? Take our cards. And any glue, whatever glue you like to work with will be fine for this, okay? All right, and then I'm just going to take my scissors here and trim this off, leaving about 1/2 inch, like that. I might have to print one more piece. And always save these pieces, right? Because you never know what we're going to need. All right, let's see. And we will, you know, when it dries, we will recrease our creases. That will be fine. So then I'm going to do another one here. And I'm just going to overlap it about 1/4 inch. It's not in a seam, so it's going to be flat here. If it ends up in a seam, then you could overlap a little more to compensate, but this is not in the seam, it's past. So I'm just going to probably overlap it like about a scant 1/4 inch like that. And then I think what I'm going to do is kind of, I might be able to, and I might have to print one more piece out, but I think I'm going to go up to the inside of the here and then overlap a little there. I think that's what I'm going to do. So now we can kind of butt this up and then use that as our guide here, like that. And this design lends itself, you don't have to match anything up. Well, let's see, if I do that, overlap here, I have about 1.5 inches to 2 inches on this side, and I don't want to have to seam it on the end here. I'll have about that much left, right? So I'm going to have to print one more page, and I'm going to do that while we're gluing. I thought 3 pages would be enough, but I'm thinking we need one more print out of that. So let me just get that going here. And that is the Grungy Fall kit. So I'm going to just quickly get that printed here. Give me 1 second, and that can print while we're gluing. Okay. And like I said, you can piece it together. If you don't like what I'm using for the inside, you know, you can think of whatever you want. Tissues, but I just love these colors, and I love with the black and orange. To me, that's like, you know, just quintessential Halloween black and orange. So, okay. I think I'm going to go to this side here because I don't want a short seam here. So let's just start gluing this while my printer's printing my last piece there. Can you tell I'm that excited about this? I really am. Oh man, I couldn't wait till Amy finished making this kit. I'm like a kid in a candy shop, sorry. But, You know, for us people that love Halloween, oh my gosh, I live for this stuff right now. So I know I probably should be making garden journals and, you know, but I will. I mean, I just can't, you know, Halloween comes so fast. It's the anticipation for me, the anticipation of everything that's coming. Because once Halloween is here, it's over, you know, and then like Christmas, it come, you know, it's the anticipation, right? The anticipation of prepping and buying gifts and, you know, doing things with your church or going out and caroling and seeing people, you know, doing random acts of kindness, and it's all of that. And then you enjoy the holiday itself, and it's lovely, right? Because you've been doing everything ahead of time, and I love that about Christmas and all. So, but that's how I feel about this too, about Halloween. Is and I think a lot of us that love Halloween can relate to that. Okay, I'm gonna lean this here, leave that there, and I'm gonna do the same thing I did, and then we're gonna get this going. Oh my gosh, if I could grab it here. Okay, so I'm gonna try to, sorry, it's hard doing this with I've got my laptop here. Okay, that's not gonna work because it's too small. Let me get this off. Let me try it again before it dries. I want to get this right where I need it here. So there, it doesn't have to be exact, as long as you have it covered. There we go. As long as it's covered good. This is all going to get glued securely down. Now I can go ahead and cut this off, giving it a 1/2 inch here. Let me do that. Okay, and this is just, I started on the other side because I didn't want a seam 2 inches in. I'd rather have the seam in the spine if I need to, or on one of the inside covers, because we're going to build on those inside covers, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so I think I'm going to, like I said, overlap a 1/4 inch here, which will be fine, but I am going to, we're going to yeah, I'm just going to fold it here. It's kind of right, you know, right where the end of this 1 inch seam is. I'm going to just tear this one here, because then we'll go over, when we glue the other piece on, it will be, I mean, I'm just lazy because I didn't cut it. That's all it is. Just, oh, okay. All right, so let's get this glue on here. And then we'll glue this to the front. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I'm just going over this here. Should be a little more careful than what I'm doing. Be a little more careful, because I think I might have gotten glue over the seam too much. So I'll have to see how it goes. But it's, you know, with this tip, it's kind of hard to be super careful with this coming out. I don't know if you can hear the birds. I have the door open. The robins are out there singing away because it's a beautiful day here in Illinois. Okay, let me cover my seam here, overlapping like that. See, and it doesn't matter. You don't even notice the seam because of this design on the paper. But that Grungy Fall is absolutely gorgeous. So I'll be making a fall journal, at least one, if not more. I just love all these papers. I'm so excited to work with them. Okay, and then one more. So I am going to overlap this. So we need to figure out and this I will cut. So this is going to get overlapped about that much. And then this will be wherever the inch is here. I'm going to give it a crease, but it's going to be cut nice. I'm not ripping this part here. I'm going to actually cut it. And I will get my cutter out so I get a nice straight cut. So let me do that. Put that in here, like so. Okay. All right. And so this will overlap on both sides. I'm gonna, wherever this, the creases for the inch here, that's gonna be butted up there. And that'll work out just fine, see? Okay, so let's get that glued on, and then we can start gluing it to the front. So I'm getting that on here. Trying to see where the seam is. So it's right about here, okay? And then I'll trim that off, and we will get it to the front. And then, and this is only getting a scant 1/4 inch on this side. So whatever paper you're going to use to cover your inside, you want to be able to not notice the seam of each sheet, okay? Just keep that in mind. And this is perfect. And actually there's a few perfect pages in her Grungy Autumn kit or Grungy Fall kit that will work for this. I do have a new bottle of fabric tack, but this is, you know how you got to try to use it up, so it doesn't cooperate very well here, but it's coming out. The Aleene's tacky glue would be good for this too. Whatever glue. I mean, this is a lot of glue, so I don't know if you want to use glitter glue for this, but, you know, even the fabric tack's a little pricey, but that's okay. I mean, I'm worth it, right? Sorry. I won't quit my day job. All right. Ooh, nice and cold. Okay, so there. And then if your edges aren't quite to the edge, you can always go in with your fine tip and glue those down. But see, it's like you see a seam, but it doesn't matter. It like all blends in, and I love that. So that's kind of what you want, right? All right, so now I can turn that over and trim that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, because that's the inside of our journal, right? So we are going to start gluing this to the outside, the seams to the outside. So I'm going to, this thing is so long, I'm going to cut the corners. You know how when you make a miter corner, right? I'm going to do that on the corners, on all 4 corners, like that. Okay, and hopefully I did that good. So another trick I found, or that I had seen, was taking a ruler, and probably a thinner, like this one, this ruler has like a thin metal edge on this side, but to help fold it over nicely, I'm going to line up this ruler with the edge of the manila folder, and what you're going to do is kind of help the paper get a crease in it so it's easier to fold over. And let's see. I saw somebody do that and I thought, oh, that's clever. So then, see, it's like easier to fold this over, and then you can take your bone folder and give it a nice crease. And then it look at how nice that is, right? So let's do that. And I know this is a long piece, so you're going to just do a little by little. So I'm going to line that up with the edge of the manila folder, and I'm just going to carefully go under there and kind of give it a little push up to that edge of that ruler. I'm going to do that all the way around. And that's going to make folding over so easy. Okay, so let me just make sure. Okay, and now I'm moving closer to the end here. I've been watching Ghost Adventures. I think that's on the Discovery Channel. Zach, whatever his name is, and his guys go to different places and do all their findings and with all their equipment and things like that. I love that. It makes me, I mean, not that I believe everything, like I said, but it sure is fun. It's fun. You know, it's not hurting anybody, but yeah, I know there's good and bad out there. That I think we all can agree on that, right? But I usually, if I'm crafting now, I usually have either some kind of paranormal-y type movie on, or I will put one of those shows that are on Discovery Channel. Like I know Amy talks about, her and her husband are watching the Skinwalker Ranch, and yeah, I like that as well. I think that's pretty neat. Just, you know, thinking about what they're finding out there and things like that. So that's but Ghost Adventures, and I know there's quite a few of them out there. So if you just type in paranormal, a whole bunch of shows will come up, and there is a plethora of them. So you won't have hard time finding anything. All right, I think I am there. So now we can start gluing. First I want to fold it. So once we made the crease, fold it with your hand and then use your bone folder to crease it over, and that should work. Just go slow, take your time. Take your time. And then if you go slow, you'll get nice creases and it'll all be worth it. And this is kind of like the hardest, if you want to call it hard. This will be the hardest, maybe most boring part to get the base covered. Then once we start working on the journal and everything on the inside, that's when the fun's going to begin. Okay. So I just wanted to do something different than a book or a regular journal. You know, when I do make Halloween things, journals and things like that, I just, you know, I need to think of something different than just your regular basic journal. I like to try different types and make them interactive and different, you know what I mean, right? It's good to change up a little bit and do different things. Okay, almost there. So now what we're going to do is glue these to the outside. We're gluing these seams to the outside. Okay, so now you're going to take your time. I know we're 45 minutes. So we're going to take our time. We're going to seal all this down. And this is what the inside of our journal looks. So once you glued everything down, I want you to gently find your creases, which you'll see on this side here. And we're going to gently recrease every fold that we have. Okay, so once we get that done, I'll see you in the next video, and we're going to do the outside of the journal cover. All right, so I hope you're enjoying this. I'm so excited to do this with you and all my other upcoming spooky type videos. So Let me know in the comments what you think, if you have any ideas, and I'll see you soon, everyone. Take care. Bye.